limp and sad. Morning lost, get up and go. Though I'm howling for carousing, I get lost in darkest night. My Bible there out, passing reveries from wistful flight. When I thought in the old front door, in mind alone, I put my oar in. When we talk inside the door, all of us is always song. Okay, I'll do another song. Me and my father and my sister wrote this. It's about my grandfather who wrote Father. I'd like to dedicate this to Michael Kahn in Armidale. It's been a great mate. Not a fair weather friend, true blue friend. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks for everything you've done.
fine shits and giggles.
For the hell of shits and giggles, the stallion Valiant shows his incredible gift. He's got a phenomenal animal, a galloping up a drift.
Okay. Alright. Well, there's a lot of passion in that singing there, Rob. We can see it's about your family and stuff.
Yeah, we're very proud of that young fella. Jack.
Yeah. Jack,
He was an awesome guy as well.
the writer of
He was such a character.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic, he was a really good man, really good man.
Oh, well, I don't know, but I think I might have written this next quatrain about Paul. There once was a man with so much hair he got lost in the hair, couldn't find him anywhere. His hair grew messy and his beard was, long. Maybe it was about me. Nobody could hear when he sang a song. Paul Wood, come on up.
Now, this fella,
Oh no.
this fella knows.
Do you understand this?
This fella knows. Now you gotta listen harder, James. You gotta listen harder. Oh, you're not listening at all. Get that shit out of your ears, James. Now,
That's alright, we can
Now.
do that, can't we? That's the idea, isn't it?
no, you're loving it.
Just talk over the top and then just like shut him up.
No, you're loving it, James.
He doesn't know what to do.
You're loving it, James.
No.
Okay, that's enough from you, James. Okay, you'll get your turn. Now, this fella knows that two wrongs don't make you right, but three do and four's better. You can't lead a horse to water, but you can't educate a pumpkin, and that he's got a sex drive, and please give generously. Now this is your favourite fella. Now give him a great big hand. He's getting up, he'll look after the entertainment tonight. Now get him on and give him a great big hand.
Alright.
Okay. We go home, Rob. This is a boring part of the night. You get an ollie mark. Hey, get out here and escape. You get out here and escape before the opera starts coming. The opera. Now,
That's the best bit.
well, it could be interesting. If it could be very interesting. Could take you somewhere you haven't been. We never know.
Education.
And tonight, I told James that I'd have a talk about a phenomena in the world called Sumi Joe. Now Sumi Joe, in my opinion, is the world's leading soprano. Lyric soprano, coloratura soprano, a wonderful voice. In fact, almost a disembodied voice from heaven. Now Sumi is sort of thought to be the new thing on the block, but Sumi's actually 60. She was born in 1962. She's 60 years old. To put that in perspective, she sang the Traviata in 2007. And she was 45, which is quite a long haul as a soprano. A lot of great singers pass their best. Their voice isn't the same, isn't great. Sumi's voice is still great today at 60. She does concerts all over the world. What happens, they do their apprenticeship doing the operas, which is very difficult, very arduous, going out and performing with an ensemble. And with an opera, not only do you have to sing and be heard, you have to act. You have to act to someone face to face and nose to nose, which is very difficult. But also, you have to be perfectly positioned on stage, because it's a mechanical thing as well. You've got to be where you're supposed to be. Also, they wear elaborate, sort of adjustable costumes which weigh enormous amount, enormous weight. The costumes are enormously heavy. You don't sort of see that. And also, they suffer when they perform with the atmospherics of the place and the atmospherics of air and everything, and the audience. And Sumi says she's very affected by the emotion of the audience. Anyway, to put in perspective, she sang Violetta and Traviata I talked about before, but the original soprano who sang the debut of the opera in 1935, Fanny Salvini Donatelli, was 38 years old and considered way past her best, over the hill and fat. Now Sumi has done all major operas. Her big number seems to be, the popular number is Olympia, the doll, in Tarzan Hoffman. And if you want to see that on YouTube, have a look for Sumi Joe, the doll song it's called. It's a famous aria where in the story of Tarzan Hoffman, there's this poor yokel, sort of a halfway, no, just a bloke that's the butt of jokes, and they make a doll and he falls in love with the doll. It is sort of stupid scenario of the opera. And the doll is called Olympia, and they wind the doll up, and the doll sings these lovely songs to Hoffman. But all the sopranos do that, the doll song. It's a great soprano aria, but Sumi is remarkable, and she's done it all over the world with all sorts of. She does that on the stage in concerts. She's a concert performer now. People want to go and see the essence of her, just to sing just her and not the whole opera, because she's an incandescent star. Apparently, she's been recently in Australia and sang the Opera House. Now, I remember many years ago that she was going to come to Australia, and she cancelled for some reason. So quite a long time ago, and Emma Matthews, our eminent soprano, has stepped in and done a beautiful job. You know, stepped in a late call and subbed for Sumi, but Sumi didn't write. But I think she's been here again. Look that up. Now, again, Sumi's 60 years old now, so she's probably coming to the end. But she's a powerhouse, quite a small woman. She's Korean, but not American Korean. She spent her whole life, unlike most performers, end up domiciled in America. You know, it's such a place. It's such a powerful place. For the culture, for the art, and also for the Met to be there amongst those great performers. But she's always remained as a South Korean woman. She speaks perfect colloquially in 5 languages we know about, 5 languages, and sings in those languages. So these are people of supreme intellect. She finished her studies. Her mother was a musician and had problems in South Korea at the time, political problems. And Sumi said that her mother would play Joan Sutherland into her womb and that. And Sumi, from a child, grew up with a musical mother who taught her. And then she did university studies till she's 23. So she's a master, a doctor of music in 2 degrees. So not only is she a great performer, and the world series, she's also got the equivalent of educational degrees at the highest level in the world. I'll make mention. She made a debut in '86 in Rigoletto as Susanna in Verdi's Rigoletto. She sang in Tarzan Hoffman's Olympia, Lucia Venamore, The Magic Flute. So she's done basically all the great repertoire, the great soprano repertoires. She is now probably, as I said, the great coloratura. And when you hear her sing, she is note perfect, and she is diction perfect. Her diction is perfect. Whereas that was a criticism of other sopranos, but you can hear her sing. Her great party piece is a Spanish sort of folk song that I think was stolen by. What's that fella's name? The fan of the opera? What's that wrote that?
Lloyd Webber.
What's his name?
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. And now you're not allowed to say generally that people steal other people's work. So I'm not going to say that Andrew Webber stole that song, but it might be wrong too. I'm not sure. But Sarah Brightman sang it originally, and Sumi does it. So I'm presuming that he, shall we say, interpreted that song. But it's a Spanish song. So Hija de la Luna, which is the white sun of the moon, or white rabbit, or something like that. And she sings that song. So look that up on YouTube. Hija de la Luna. Now she sang that with a big production at the Korean. It might have been the Seoul Games or something like that. A huge thing, you know. And she's knocked it out of the park there. And also you'll see on YouTube where she does that and she sings that beautiful song. It was originally a Spanish song. She sings that in her native Korean, and it's absolutely marvellous. I mean. The one I like on YouTube is the one where she sings with an audience with an orchestra close up, and it's thrilling. It'll blow your socks off. So if you want to see greatness, have a look at that. And again, that's about all I'm going to say about. That's about all I'm going to say about Sumi for tonight. So, if you don't know Sumi, if you haven't heard Sumi or something, she is the best, I think. Anyway, enough of Sumi. My turn now to sing. My turn.
Well, that's disappointing.
Huh?
Are you going to sing in Korean or?
I might sing in Korean.
Good.
Yeah, you never know.
It's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful performance name. My turn.
My turn. Oh yeah, okay. I think it is.
It's
I'll
exotic.
change her name then. Well, Sumi changed her name too. She westernised her name for easier. You know, so there you go. So that is not her actual name, but similar in Korean. But how wonderful to change it. Sumi Jo. It looks good on a record. Easy to find on YouTube. Sumijo. All right. Now this is a song I had a bit of trouble with, that James had to help me out with. And there's a great possibility I have amnesia and forget it again, in which case I'm just going to go home. And the song's called... Oh shit, I forgot the name of the song again.
Alzheimer.
What was that again?
Alzheimer.
Did you say so?
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
The sound is...
No, it's normally the James professor that throws him off my mark, but you know, you're having a good dip tonight. The song's called Excuse Me. Now, I forgot it last time, I forgot it again. But I'll give it a stab, actually.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Yeah, excuse me. That's the name of your song.
Oh, okay. This one's called Excuse Me. Excuse me, I think I got a heartache. There's an aching deep inside, and it just won't be denied. Excuse me, I think I've got a heartache, and I'd better say goodbye before I cry. They just don't know how much I feel without you. My teardrops never see the light of day. I laugh and joke each time they talk about you. But if you heard my heart, you'd hear it say, excuse me, I think I got a heartache. There's an aching deep inside, and it just won't be denied. Excuse me, I think I got a heartache, and I'd better say goodbye before I cry. It's just my pride that makes me hide my sorrow. I live a lie in all I do and say. My lips may lie and say a bright tomorrow, But if I told the truth, I'd have to say, excuse me, I think I got a heartache. There's an aching deep inside, and it just won't be denied. Excuse me, I think I got a heartache, and I'd better say goodbye before I cry.
Woo! Bravo!
Best of luck.
This is your phone ringing, but there's no hurry or rush. If it's really important, I'll leave a message.
I'll let you do it.
I mind reading that very short. Just reading the stanzas.
Which one?
Just those three. And Andrew Young.
Andrew Young. Okay, well, I've got
Best place and time
a
of year.
special request from Ashley here, from Andrew Young, a prehistoric camp. It was the time of the year. Pale lambs leap with thick leggings on over small hills that are not there, that I climbed Egadon. The hedge-growers were still bare. No one ever knew so late a year. Birds built their nests in the open air, love conquering their fear. But there, on the hill crest, where only larks or stars look down, earthworks exposed a vaster nest, its race of men long flown. All right, well, we're coming up towards the end of the night. Paul's disappeared.
Gone already.
I was going to teach him some Korean.
I was going to teach you some pra.
Oh,
Opera.
yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure he can't be that far away. Maybe
No,
just
no,
stay
no,
out there. I'll teach him some Korean after. This was one written 5 days ago. It's just a little crooked one. There was a... Oh, and in this poem, the word cock means rooster. Just thought I'd clarify that. There was a crooked man that wore a crooked hat, lived in a crooked house with a crooked dog and cat. He always told the truth, never told a crooked lie. An honest crooked man from birth until he died. He had a crooked job maintaining the crooked mountain road, fixing crooked potholes from unsecured crooked loads. There wasn't a crooked man who lived a crooked wife. He had crooked children and he had a crooked wife. Yeah. He had a crooked hen and he had a crooked cock. The hen laid crooked eggs, his cock, his alarm clock. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd better clarify the rooster kind. Yeah.
You wouldn't have a crooked cock otherwise, would you?
All right. So Paul's back. So now I can teach you in Korean how to say, "Let's have a shower together."
Go on.
같이 샤워하자.
Catchy how shower.
I don't think that's right, James.
No, this is definitely right. I can say that in 15 languages.
We don't want to know why, do we?
Never were.
Language.
Never got a shower yet. I'm a bit pongy. Anyway, all right.
Dirty bastards, what?
So repeat after me. 같이 샤워하자.
Catchy shower.
No thanks, it's all right.
I've got a new job.
Okay. So there's one last one. This one came to me at very, very late. It came to me at 1:48 in the morning, but it
Well, that's good.
didn't seem to fit in the poem, so it got adjusted. And this one's called the Tawny Frogmouth because I've written a lot
It's disappointing.
from the perspective of a tawny frogmouth. And the first time I was visited, like about midnight, when I got up to meditate when I was in Nimbin, which was about 3 years ago. 4 years ago. It was before Mardi Gras, I think in 2019, and the Thorny Frogmouth came to me early in the morning, and then it came over the next sort of 3 days, and then a bit more and more and more, until I had enough written for a whole 8-minute poem, or actually it was 12 minutes, which I had to reduce to 8 minutes because it was so big and I needed it for the Nimbin Performance Poetry World Cup. Anyway, this is... On Saturday night, we had Vanuatu Independence Day here, and afterwards we cleaned up, and I was left to clean up everything, and I'm vacuuming and mopping away, and he nearly knocked me cactus over. So there I was cleaning up, and I came across the Tawny Frogmouth outfit that I wore in the Nimbin Performance Poetry World Cup. And mind you, if you're a poet out there and you've got an 8-minute piece of performance poetry, then send your entry in for the Nimbin Performance Poetry World Cup, because there's only 40 entries available in it. So yeah, I come across my Tawny Frogmouth costume, and I thought, and then suddenly this is what got downloaded at 1:50 on Saturday night after Vanuatu Independence Day.
It's innate.
Yes.
Okay, excuse me. Are you right? Thank you.
Sorry, we're just having a...
Okay, outside please.
Later, Paul.
The Tawny Frogmouth has spoken to me at 1:50 in the night. It said, I've come across many people and I'm here to shed the light. I'm the messenger of the dead, and this is what they have to say. You don't need drugs or alcohol to get you through the day. The best drug you can take is stretch and exercise at dawn. No matter how cold it is, if you move your ass, you're warm. Drink a glass of water, then drink another one. Breathe deep for energy, and energy comes from the sun. Then before you start the day, have freezing cold showers, and you'll live a long life and you'll have superpowers. I'm a Tawny Frogmouth, and one thing you can employ is live a life of gratitude, love, peace, bliss and joy. I hope that you've been listening to everything I've said. It's your choice if you want to live long, healthy and not dead. I've one last thing to say before I fly away from here. You can have a good time without drinking wine or beer. The Tawny Frogmouth left. He just upped and flew away. And I am just a scribe of what the Tawny Frogmouth had to say. That's it. Alright, now if you're watching still, give it a thumbs up, like it, give it a heart, share it, comment, and yeah, do that as well if you're subscribed, if you're on YouTube. Thank you very much everybody for coming tonight. Thank you everybody out there in Facebook land and YouTube land, and we'll catch you next week here and at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. Thank you. Don't forget, before I go, don't forget, Steve mentioned the Poetry Library here. Yeah, we're always after books for the Poetry Library, so if you've got any poetry books you don't want, or you find any that you could send to us, it's Australian Poetry Hall of Fame, 144 Bradley Street, Guyra. We'll see you later.
Poultry.
The Poultry Hall of Fame.